Hey guys, I'm going to be bringing you my updated Shaddoll builds for this format, post Necloth, post Nekroz, whatever you want to call it. We all know that that deck is pretty much tier 0 right now, but there are people who aren't going to be able to play the deck, and you'll be looking at play things like Qliphort, Talonite, Burning Abyss, but I think Shaddoll can still be competitive. You just have to adapt. Look at the OCG, look at what they did with their decks. This deck is very much OCG inspired, takes a lot of their concepts and applies them to the metagame that we have over here, without making your other matchups unwinnable, shall we say, because you're always going to have the tricks that Shaddoll have. So let's get into the deck profile. Okay, we start things off with 1 BLS. Card needs no introduction. It's so powerful. It wins a lot of games. I hesitate to use the word sack, but yeah, this card can win you games that you really shouldn't have won. So we have to play it. Dark Dragon. I'm not running the Eclipse Wyvern engine, but this card is unreal. Like, it's a slower game state, so you should be able to drop this card with relative ease. These next three. I see some people dropping this card to 1, and I can't understand why. 1 or 2, sorry. This card is your best turn 1 play, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, you need this card, people. It leads to some mad combos. And it's your ideal setup at the end of the day. Onto the Shaddolls. You've got 3 Shaddoll Beast. I still think Beast is really important, just because it gives you the speed in the deck. We've got 2 Squamata. Again, like the utility Shaddoll, the one which gets you into all the others. 2 Hedgehog. It's pretty standard. 2 Dragon. A lot of people in OCG play 1 copy of this card, but I don't want to compromise the Qliphort matchup that much. Like, I still want to have answers there. 1 Falco. The card is quite slow. Like, you don't want to be opening multiple copies of this card turn 1. You don't particularly want to see this card turn 1 unless you get a combo card with it. So, and 1 Felice. I'm still playing Felice. I think that this card is nutty. Like, it's obviously horrible to draw, like always, but you can get rid of it with Shaddoll Fusion, Shaddoll Fusion. The card gives you mad combos with Mathematician. It leads to more OTKs. It's fantastic. Here's something a bit different. I'm running 3 Effect Veiler in the main deck. This is very much OCG inspired, but I see the reasoning behind doing this. Mainly for Necloth. I was testing against that matchup, and Effect Veiler to their Manju, to their Senju, their typical turn 1 plays, can really slow them down. And also, the cards that you fear in that matchup is Bryonak and Trishula, when they summon them, that is. Trishula, when it summons, that can be devastating. That can ruin your graveyard, making your BLS dead, your Dark Dragon dead, any Shaddoll combos you had going completely dead. It's an easy removal to your Fusion, which you might have on the board, and it can mess up your hand. Like, Trishula, you have to prepare for this card. You have to defend against it. And this is your turn 0 answer to it. When they're playing with themselves, this is your answer. And Bryonak, there is nothing worse than having a Construct and a Winder on board, or double Construct, and seeing them both bounced by Bryonak. So, defense, definitely. And with a similar concept, I'm also running Double C. Max C, extremely powerful card, especially seen as they have a tendency to go for, well, if they're playing it, the Gin Lock. This card dissuades them slightly. They're either going to give you mad cards, so you're probably drawing out, or, yeah, they'll stop, which is great. It's what Max C does, dissuades people, makes them think second. 3 Shaddoll Fusion. This is something which is subject to change, because the card is subpar against Necloth especially. They rarely use the extra deck. 3 El Shaddoll Fusion. This card is arguably better than regular Shaddoll Fusion due to its versatility. Some broken one-offs. Snatch Steal, busted. Foolish Burial, also busted. Allure of Darkness. Consistency, mainly. Draw into your cards that are going to disrupt their plays. Burial is a combo card. Side it out quite easily, but it can accelerate your game state. Snatch Steal wins games, busted, no introduction. And the last two, we've got Soul Charge and Regeki. Beautiful Spanish Regeki there. Soul Charge, nutty cards, establishes you massive boards, and Regeki is a board wipe. But again, things are subject to change. The Soul Charge could easily become a Dark Hole, give you another route to the Gin Lock. Like, this is all testing, guys, just trying to give you some ideas. Traps, we've got 3 Sinister Shadow games. I love this card. I think it's so versatile. It really sets up the grave, pushes you further. It's a fantastic card. We've got 2 Vanity's Emptiness. This card murks Necloth. It absolutely destroys them. I could even bump this to 3, to be perfectly honest. The only issue with that is hands can be a bit clumpy. You do need to go off as well to win the game. In a similar... Here we go. 3 Mistake. Mistake is ridiculous against Necloth. It kills the speed of the deck. This card is awesome against that deck. It's also hugely relevant against Qliphort. The only matchup you're not really going to get much utility out of it is Burning Abyss and Shaddoll. But it's also good against the Tellarknights. And it's an easy side out, you know? Like, it's worth it. If you're going into a big tournament, you're expecting to see a lot of Necloth. This card rapes it, seriously. Consider it. Extra deck is pretty standard. We've got the 3 Constructs. You need 3. You're playing Shaddoll, you need 3. It's not a debate. You just play 3. 2 Winder. Not as relevant as it used to be, but it can still lock certain matchups. Burning Abyss, I'm looking at you. Shakinaga, hardly ever make this card. Leo, yeah, fantastic guy, hard for most matchups to get over. Black Rose Dragon, board wipe, amazing against Rogue. Arcanite does a similar job, but it's also a light, so pop stuff and then abuse it with Shaddoll Fusion. Favourite card in the extra deck, Ancient Sacred Wyvern, just for the Mathematician Felice play. This card will get you games so many times. Try out, guys. Goyo Guardian, I still prefer this over HTS. It's a greedy card, but I really like that. Because at the end of the day, you're taking something, you may even be able to fuse with it. You're taking a threat off their board. They're not getting it back. They're not getting it in the grave. Like, it's a very good card. Armades, this card could easily come out. I hardly ever make it. Burning Abyss is Shaddoll, maybe the only utility, but it's hardly relevant. Castell, yeah, you could easily, like, these 3, you could easily substitute in other cards, like Lavalval Chain if you wanted. You know, there are options. It's really preference for this, because you hardly ever make rank 4s in this deck. But yeah, that is the main and the side that I've got going on at the moment. I'm just going to show you a couple of cards that you can consider when building your Shaddoll deck. Like, obviously, I can't main these because I'm playing so many Floodgates, but say you're going up against Burning Abyss, like, this card's still ridiculous in that matchup if they're playing the Trap build. So, Denko Seka, definitely an option for the side deck. Similarly, this card, Majesty's Fiend. Majesty's Fiend, amazing against Burning Abyss, like, and Shaddoll in the mirror. That card is amazing. You can also consider the hands. In fact, more than consider, I would definitely suggest you to run the hands in the side. They are amazing against Qliphort, which is arguably the toughest matchup. I'll leave this one. Obviously, there's no MST in the main. You're going to want to side copies of those, maybe even more. And the final card I want to talk about is this. Secret Village of the Spellcasters, or Pueblo Secreto de los Magos, if you're Spanish. I'm not going to attempt the Italian one. I'm not going to pretend I know how to speak Italian. But yeah, think about the attribute. Think about the types of all your monsters, and think about Necloth. They need their spells to go off. They need them. So you establish that, and let's add a dragon into the equation. Tell me how they're getting over that. Dragon is 1900. It's a massive beat stick. You could even play Thunder King. I should really have put Thunder King in this video, which is also amazing against Necloth and Qliphort. But just try these things out, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments section if you've got any suggestions. Obviously let me know. But yeah, I think the way to beat this format is, if you're not playing Necloth, you have to beat Necloth. So you have to side or main heavily. I went with the latter. I want as many options in the main deck to cripple that matchup, and these two really do the job well. I'm also going to be bringing you another anti-meta deck, which I used to play a while ago. Evil Swarm. If you'd like to see that, then I will have that deck profile up shortly. I think that's going to be a really, really strong contender as well. But yeah, if you don't want to play Necloth, then yeah, start maining hate. Thanks, guys. I will see you later. Bye.